In today's episode of Artfelt Conversations, we have a very distinguished artist with us. Whether Alapana, Neraval, Swarakalpana, or Swaraprastara, he is deeply involved and has a pliable voice that suits the tenor of any composition or raga. Vidwan, Sri Kunnakudi Balamuralikrishna's music is of a different cadence, rarely found in musicians of his age. We're honored to have you with us today, Anna.
Thank you.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Please share with us how the interest for Carnatic music started. Your father was a singer?
Yes, my father was a singer. He was a music teacher. So I started learning music from him, and I never learned the initial varisais or geetams because every day I'll be hearing his classes once I'm back from school, or he'll take me to one of his classes wherever he goes to teach. So after a while, I knew all the Geetams and the Sarli Varsi, whatever he was teaching. That is how it started. I initially wanted to play Mridangam. I was interested in Mridangam only. Apparently, I was shy to sing. Um I don't remember that, but my parents used to tell me. Uh, I used to play Mridangam for any concerts that they take me. I'll take a. Have you seen those small tubs of uh, something like what you see like a whey protein
Oh, okay, Daba.
dabba? So I used to play in that. So that's how they found out I had more interest in Mridangam rather than
Okay,
singing.
interesting.
So then they put me to a local teacher. I started learning Mridangam. Apro, I think at the age of I was second grade, I think. One of my school teachers added my name for a competition, for a vocal competition, without even asking me because she said you are the son of a music teacher,
You have to
so
sing.
you have to sing.
Uh,
And I don't think I had any choice in that, and I said okay. And she asked me what song. It was just a song competition. I said Alai Paide because that is what I heard the day before. I said Alai Paide, and I came back home, forgot about it.
oh.
And I was doing my homework and all that, and at about 9:30 or 10 in the night, I remembered that I had agreed, and the competition was next day. So then I told my dad, and that's when I knew that it was a very big song. So I've only heard it, but I didn't know the song. So then he taught me that, and the next day I went for the competition.
Overnight,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
it. Oh,
yeah.
wow.
He taught because I've heard it before. So I sang in that competition. I think I won the prize. So I think that was the first time I felt good about singing.
Ah.
Um and then there was another competition by uh, Haridas Giri Swamiji. Uh, there, the uh, the catch was, if you win the competition, he will take you to Singapore for a tour.
Oh.
So that's the
Wow.
prize, first prize. So that really, motivated me to sing and practice. So then I think around that I must have been 7 or 7.5, maybe no, even earlier. So that's the first time I took singing seriously. I started practicing. After
Okay.
that, I think I started singing more than I played Mridangam.
Wow. It's a beautiful experience. Thank you. Did you have any other hobbies while growing up, and do you still pursue any of them?
I used to play chess. I was not much of an outdoorsy because obviously I didn't have time because I'll practice before I go to school, come back, either I'll have class or I'll practice, or I'll go listen to a concert. That was my day. A typical day was that. So I didn't have any opportunity to go out and play like any other normal kid. So I used to play chess. I used to read a lot. I still do, but not as much as I would like to. But um, at least till my undergrad, I think I used to read a lot,
What was
fiction
your
and
favorite book?
um, that's one by Somerset Maugham. There are a few favorites. This one actually struck me a lot. One by Somerset Maugham. It's a fictional novel. It's called the Moon and Sixpence.
Okay.
It's about an artist. It's about a painter from um, London, I think,
Okay.
from UK, who moved to Paris without giving any notice, became a painter, and the story goes on.
Okay.
But I love the way he brought out the story. He showed what made the artist do it. He was a stockbroker. He obviously had a very um, mundane job, very mundane life. That is how his life is described. So that's one of the novels that that
Very
struck me a
nice.
lot.
What is your favorite ragam and why?
I wouldn't say favorite. We this is a question that I get a lot.
Oh, okay.
Uh, but I don't have any ragam that I dislike.
Okay.
Every single ragam that I sing, it has an emotion in itself. It has a feel for itself,
Correct.
albeit being different. But favorite, I would actually lean a little bit towards Varali,
Varali.
because
Okay.
Varali, I should say, is I have a little bit more liking or a soft spot towards Varali. Um, my guru used to sing it a lot. He His favorite ragams were Natakurunji, Danyasi, Varali. He had a flair which is unbelievable in these ragams. Not that he was any less in any other ragam, but I think his flair was more evident in these ragams because he he had more of a flow, more of a he could show the essence of the ragam more than anybody else that I've heard in those ragams. So I think that inadvertently, I think I
Came
started
to you too.
getting addicted to Varali. So Varali, I would say, is my favorite.
Very nice. Thank you. Your sense for Manodharma is very intriguing and plausible. Please shed some light for upcoming artists on how they can practice and improve their Manodharma.
Okay, Manodharmam is 60% listening and 40% practice. It is not as much as plagiarizing, but understanding the essence of how the ragams being dealt with. So for that, our only source is either songs that we've learned or past masters that you can go and listen to. Um, I tell my students, as long as you are a music rasika, you go to a concert to enjoy, to get entertained. But once you become a music student, you go there to steal.
Yeah.
Steal not the actual same sangati and then sing it in your concert,
Correct.
but steal the idea, steal what is there, what is see any musical idea that any one of us sing today comes from the Trinity or thereafter,
Correct.
or a few great composers before them. But the Trinity, the musical Trinity, what they did was they showed us what the grammar actually meant. Whatever is written in the book is very theoretical. But to incorporate it in a song and show it to you, this is how the gamagam is supposed to be dealt with, and this is where you can get to.
Correct.
So that is there. After a while, if you think about it, the Trinity became the grammar. Instead of them interpreting the grammar, they
Correct.
became the grammar for us, for many ragams actually. Um, Sankatis, ideas that we've I'm sure we've never would have thought of. They were the custodians of those ideas, which made us develop from there.
Correct.
Any of us doing any monodram today, we are improvising.
Correct. The seed is from there.
Yeah. So the innovation or the understanding of the grammar and the interpretation, and then the pathway, is from them. So the songs and varnams are the main sources. But to understand what to take from the songs, how to take it, that comes from that's made easier for us by great vidwans that who inspire us. So listening makes monodharmam easier.
Okay.
See, we are creatures of habit.
Correct.
We have muscle memory. So the more we listen, it gets somewhere in our brains, it gets imbibed. So when you try the ragam, when you try singing, 5 years back, you heard a concert by Sheshagopalan sir, and he sang Nayaki. And then when you are trying Nayaki, somewhere it will come. You pursue this ragam for an hour, that idea will somewhere,
Naturally just
you will
come in.
siphon it out for sure. So that is the power of listening. And of course, practice is
Number one.
there is no going around practice. Just that for Manodharmam, the one of the frequent questions that I've been asked is, what do you do when you get stuck? You move past it.
Okay.
There is no other way. The more repetitive our ideas are, you're right there. You're just one step away from finding a new idea. Many of us lose sight of that, and then we get dejected when you get stuck in an idea, and then you're not able to go
forward.
past it, get a new idea, move past it, develop from that one idea. So for that, it's just pursuing for half more hour.
Don't give up.
More, don't give up at all.
Okay.
And as a joke, I tell my students as well, shed out all impurities, sing. If they are dejected, they come and tell me that, I'm not able to get ideas in this ragam, get ideas in that ragam. How is this possible? My answer is, okay, you don't like your ideas? Okay, sing all the impurities, sing all bad ideas. Then whatever remains within you is going to be good.
Wow.
Whatever comes after that
Correct.
is going to be good. It's just another way of indirect way of saying, asking them to just pursue
Correct.
half more hour, one more hour in the same ragam.
That's
So that is
beautifully put. Thank you. I've heard that you have been affiliated with Kanchi Mahaperiyava and the Kanchi Mutt. Can you please share some experiences?
This again, I don't remember this, but I've been. My parents told me this experience. The first ever time I went there, I must have been 3 or 4. So my paternal grandfather and his family have been somewhat close to Pariva. So he knew them because they were Sanskrit Pandits.
Okay.
So he knew them, and then he started talking to my granddad about his father, his grandfather, and all that. And then he was asking what my dad was doing. There was a conversation. Those were times when we were able to talk to him for about 5-10 minutes. So then at the end of the meeting, he gave the prasadam to me because I was the youngest there.
Oh, okay.
In my hands.
Wow.
So then without any thought, of course, I was 3 or 4. I did put the whole thing. It was probably a bowl full of dry fruits. So I had tried to eat it all, and he started laughing. So that's my first ever experience. And then I've seen him thrice or so.
Okay.
I would say it also was because my guru used to visit Kanchipuram a lot.
Okay.
So every single time he went, I went along too.
Okay.
So I was a frequent visitor to the Mutt, and then once at some point I was made the Asthana Vidwan as well. So
What about you?
it was just a blessing.
For sure.
Yeah, so that's my just to put it in a nutshell, in a very general way, this is how it is. But he's, we know who he is.
Yes.
So yeah,
Nichima.
all his blessings has been showered.
Anna, you're such a versatile artist, not only a soulful singer, but a mridangist too. Can you please tell us your journey as a mridangist? You shared a little bit before, but and also learning under Guru Shri Karikudi Mani sir.
That was a dream which was made possible by my vocal guru, P.S. Narayana Swami sir. So I was learning from a local guru, and then for some reason it got stopped. And then I was always inspired by him and the Ganjara maestro Harishankar. In fact, in those times, the only 2 artists' photos that I had in my wallet was
Oh.
theirs. Basically, I was hero worshipping them a lot. And the good thing was, I did have a few heroes, but those were the only ones other than my guru who were actually actively performing.
Okay.
So it made a little bit more, they had a little bit more edge over all the other heroes. So those were the photos that I had. And every time, I listen to them play, and I just couldn't sleep that night. I'll not be able to sleep. I will keep running it in my mind, thinking of what they played, how they played, and it's like the way you look at your, like any other hero, like you worship them, you look at them like that.
Correct.
And when I stopped mridangam, and then my guru suggested asking me to pursue kanchira. Suddenly I started nudging my dad to ask him to put me under Harishankar.
Okay.
And I don't know why it didn't work. And then my guru said, then play Mardangam itself. Then I told him, he suggested a couple of names, and then I started nudging my dad, and then I was very tentative approaching my guru. I was only 10 or 11 at that point. I hadn't started talking freely to him.
Okay.
So every conversation was routed through my dad.
Okay.
So he asked him, and he said, okay, Karikudi Mani sir, Solomon. ஓகே, இன்னும் ஒரு 10 நாளில் ஒரு கச்சேரி இருக்கு, எனக்கு வாசிக்கிறார், நீங்கள் கொஞ்சம் முன்னாடியே வந்துருங்க. தட் இஸ் ஆல் ஹி செட். அண்ட் தென் I was like, so you imagine those 10 days of wait. And so finally that concert happened at Sastri Hall. There was I expected a lot of tension, and then whether he'll agree. He has not even seen me. He has not heard me play, nothing at all. So I was apprehensive. And then they were sitting on the stage, and then my guru, I was sitting down. It was at Sastri Hall. I don't know whether you've been to Sastri Hall. There's an area where you can sit down right under the stage. You can look at them like this. So before starting the concert, my guru said, no, இந்த பையன் சொன்னேனே இவன் தான் அது. Then he said, oh, okay. கச்சேரி முடிஞ்ச உடனே ஃபோன் நம்பர் வாங்கிக்கோங்க. That's all he said. And then we went and we start. He asked me to play something. He asked me to recite some some jatis. And then he started the class, and I was like, it's a very similar experience to what happened with my vocal guru as well.
Okay.
But and without even realizing, without having time to digest it, I started learning from Karikudi Mani sir.
Wow.
So that's how it started. About 7-8 years we had regular classes. And then around the age of 18 or so, he knew that I was performing, I was traveling a lot, vocal concerts. So he told me, you know what, I don't have time now. I know that you're going to take vocal as a profession. What you know in Mridangam now is more than sufficient for any vocalist. And you still can practice, and you can play whenever you want. But for my time restraint, I have only time for students who come to me for professional access. So fair enough. So I kept practicing, and then it slowly reduced.
Okay.
And then I used to meet him maybe 3 times, 4 times a year. And after 7-8 years, I was singing a Pallavi for a Mridangam Taniyavardhanam concert, and he was the chief guest.
Okay.
And while he was congratulating the artist on stage, he said, இவன் என்னோட ஸ்டூடெண்ட்டு பாடினது, இவன் இப்போ பாடுற மாதிரியே மிருதங்கமும் அவ்வளோ நல்லா வாசிப்பான், இவன் கச்சேரியும் வாசிக்கணும்னு நான் ஃபீல் பண்ணுறேன். He said that on stage. And if you know Karikudi Mani sir, he does not by any degree, he does not shower
Compliments.
No compliments at all. It's very rare and about. So I was like, oh, I didn't expect that. It was again a surprise for me. And then I called him. I went to his place, started practicing again. And then for I think that December, he asked me to put the thalam for his Taniyavardhanam concert.
Okay.
So I went to his place just to listen to what he's going to play, to know what I'm going to thalam for now. And then the day before, he called me and said, you know what, play with me tomorrow. And I had no idea what to play. So I went to his place. There was just an hour and a half practice, and planning of what to play. It's a Thaniyavadhanam concert, and then I played along with him. Again, everything, I think, I can tell you 10 or 12 of these instances in which everything happened suddenly with with Mani sir. That is how it happened for me. Yeah. And the concert he played for me also.
Okay.
I didn't even know that he's going to play for me prior 10 days prior to the concert, and suddenly he called me.
Wow.
Blessings. I've been blessed that way with my gurus. And then slowly he started playing for me a lot more. I learned that way too. And in between maybe 1 or 2 concerts a year, nowadays in the last 7 to 8 years, I've been playing Thaniyavadhanam concerts with him too.
Wow.
Which is again something that I never expected to ever happen in my life. Just the Mani sir that I've seen, I've worshipped. I don't think I had any chance to even sit on stage with him. So anything and everything I get is like a blessing that I can never think of.
It's beautiful hearing that. Thank you. Before we wrap up this interview, can I please request you to sing a few lines of Varugulamu Ayya?
परम कृपानिधि परम कृपानिधि இல்ல ஏழை கூப்பச்சாரம் சொல்ல உந்தல் பெற மானல்த தாண்டவம் பார்க்கவே நானங்கே உந்தல் பெற மானல்த தாண்டவம் பார்க்கவே நானங்கே உந்தல் பெற மானல்த தாண்டவம் பார்க்கவே நானங்கே வருகலாமோ வருகலாமோ ஐயா நானங்கே வருகலாமோ ஐயா நான் முதல் அருகில் நின்று கொண்டாடவும் பார்க்கவே